Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the session on AI-powered document intelligence with Azure Form Recognizer. So here I'm Jaisura SM, a Microsoft certified AI engineer and global certified analyst, and I'm thrilled to announce be the part of this weekend tech learning series, which will be focused on Azure AI services. So let's start by setting the stage. So think about the sheer volume of the documents where we interact with the daily, whether it can be in invoices, whether it can be in receipts or ID cards, contracts, papers, or the reports. So these documents, which contains critical business informations, but there are often logged in the formats that are hard to process automatically. So that's where this document intelligence comes in, and more specifically, this Azure Form Recognizer, which uh, take the session. It can be designed to walk you through the how this uh, Azure Form Recognizer transforms the paper documents and the scanned images into an actionable digital insights using AI. So we will explore its core capabilities, architecture, and how it fits into then real life workflows. So let me share my screen and we will start the session. Yeah. So here, I will also show you in the session how to build the custom models, integrate with the other Azure services, and even orchestrate with the intelligent pipelines using the automation tools like Power Automate and Azure Functions. So we will begin with the problem statement that why this document intelligence is needed. And then we will dive into the technical workings of the form recognizer. I will walk you through its pre-built and the custom models, layout analysis, and even the advanced features like composed models and the document classifications. So we will also look at the integration possibilities from the security and compliance and pricing. So to make this session practical, I have included three real-world use cases from invoice automations in real retail to healthcare from processing and educational certificate validations. So these examples will help you to visualize how the form recognizer can be applied across the industries. And yes, we will wrap up with the live demo using the Azure Form Recognizer Studio and the Python SDK. So I will show you how to upload the document, extract the structured data, and visualize it in Power BI as much as possible. So this will give you an hands-on feel for how easy and powerful this tool really is. So whether you are a developer, architect, or analyst, or just curious about AI and document processing, this session will equip you with the knowledge and the confidence to start building the intelligent workflow with Azure Form Recognizer. So let's get started once again. So here, let's begin by understanding the problem space. Why do we need the document intelligence? So every organization, which regardless of the industries, all the industries, deals with the massive volume of documents. So think about the invoices, receipts, ID cards, contracts, and even the reports. So these are all everywhere and anywhere. And traditionally, the way we have handled these documents is through manual data entry, right? So someone sits down and they will read the document and they types the information into the system. So it's slow and expensive and prone to human errors. So now imagine doing this for thousands of documents every month. The cost adds up not just financially, but in the terms of time and accuracy. So mistakes in the data entry can be lead to when compliance issues and delayed decisions and even the frustrated customers. So that's why businesses are increasingly looking for the systems that can read and understand the documents like the humans, but faster than the humans and more reliability and at the scales. So this is where the document intelligence comes in, and its ability to extract the meaningful informations from the documents using AI. So we are talking about these systems that cannot only read the text, but also understands the structure of the document and the context and the semantics of the document. So with this document intelligence, organizations can automate the data extractions and reduce the manual workload and make faster, more informed decisions. And these are Azure Form Recognizer, which is an Microsoft's answer to this challenge. So it combines the optical character recognition, which can be set as OCR, with the deep learning models to extract the structured data from the documents. So whether it's an scanned invoice, your handwritten form, or a complex report, the form recognizer can process it and return the clean and structured data. And the best part is that uh, it's not just about reading the text. It understands the layout, identifying the key value pairs, and this means you can build the intelligent workflows that responds to document intelligence and the content in real time. So that then we need these document intelligence. So it's clear, right? So it's about the transforming the static and unstructured documents into dynamic and actionable data. So it's about empowering the organization to move faster, reduce the errors, and unlock the insights that were previously buried in the paper. So in the next slide, we will look at what Azure Form Recognizer actually is and how it fits into a broader Azure AI ecosystem. So now that we understand the need for document intelligence, so let's talk about the hero of our today's session, Azure Form Recognizer. So the Azure Form Recognizer, which is in a cloud-based AI services, that's a part of Microsoft Azure Applied AI Services. So it's designed to help you to extract the text, key value pairs, tables, and even the layout information from the document. So whether they are the scanned images, PDFs, or digital files, what makes it powerful is its ability to handle the structured, semi-structured, and even the unstructured formats of the data. So whether you are dealing with an neatly formatted invoices or a messy handwritten forms, and these forms recognizers can help to understand the text. And its core, it uses to these technology called OCR, which is a deep learning model to detect the printed and handwritten text. But it doesn't stop there. It layers the deep learning model on the top of OCR to understand the document structured and semantics. So this means it can identify the fields like invoice number, total amount, or date, even if they appear in different layouts or the different formats. So you can access the form recognizer in multiple ways. If you prefer no-code experience, there's the Azure portal and the Document Intelligence Studio is there. For developers, they can use the REST APIs and software development kits available in Python, C Sharp, and JavaScript. So this is flexibility, which makes it easy to integrate into the existing applications or build new ones from the scratch. So in this demo, we will be building up the application, the prototype from the scratch. So the output, which is in returned in the JSON format, which is an incredibly useful for the developers, and it includes the field names, values, and confidence scores, and even the bounding boxes, the coordinates. So this structured output can be fed directly into the databases, dashboards, or automation workflows. So you can visualize it in the Power BI, storing it on Azure SQL, or trigger the actions using Logic Apps or Power Automate. So what's exciting is that these Form Recognizer is not just tool; it's a platform, and it supports pre-built models for the common document types like invoices, receipts, ID cards, and the business cards. So, but if you have unique documents, you can train the custom models using just a few labeled samples. So there's also the supports for composed models and document classifications. So which will be exploring in upcoming slides. So in a summary, this Azure Form Recognizer is your gateway to intelligent document processing, right? So here we have this core capabilities. Now that we have introduced this Azure Form Recognizer, let's explore its core capabilities as well. So the real magic behind how it transforms the documents into structured data. So first up is text extractions. So this is the foundation where the form recognizer uses the OCR to detect both printed and handwritten text. So whether it's an typed invoice or a scribbled note on a scanned form, it can read and digitize the contents, right? So, but it doesn't just give you the raw text, it understands the context. Next is the key value pair recognition. So this is where the things get smarter, right? So the model which identifies the structured fields like invoice number, amount, date, and links, um, uh, you know, uh, links them with their corresponding values. So instead of just dumping the text, it just gives you the meaningful data, and you can plug directly into your systems. So then we have the table extractions. So this is a game changer for documents like invoice, reports, or statements. So even if the tables are misaligned, or scanned, or embedded in the complex layouts, this form recognizer, which can detect the rows and which can detect the columns and even the cell values. So it reconstructs the table structure so you can analyze or visualize it easily. So another powerful feature is layout understanding. So this goes beyond just reading the text. It understands how the document is structured. So it detects the headers, paragraphs, sections, and even the line breaks. So this is especially useful when you are building the applications that rely on document context, like summarization engines, or classification models. And finally, we have this pre-built models. So these are ready to use templates, right? So for the you can use it for the common document types like invoices, receipts, ID cards, and the business cards. So you don't need to train anything. Just upload your document, and you can get the structured output instantly. So here we have this architecture overview, like how it is happening from head to tail. So let's now look under the hood and understand how this Azure Form Recognizer works from an architectural perspective. So the process begins from the input stage. You start by uploading the document. This could be in a PDF or a scanned document or even a photo taken from mobile devices. So the input can come directly from your local system or be stored in Azure Blob Storages. So this flexibility, which makes it easy to integrate with existing document repositories. So once the document is uploaded, it moves into the processing phase, right? So here we have this form recognizer where it performs. So here this form recognizer performs an OCR to detect the text, but it doesn't stops at OCR. It applies the deep learning techniques, deep learning models to interpret the layout, identifies the key value pairs, and extracts the tables and understands the document structure. And so this is where the intelligence kicks. And after this processing, you get the output, which is in a structured JSON file. So this file, which contains all the extracted data, it can be in a field name and the value, confidence score, and even the bounding boxes. You can get it with the coordinates. So it's machine readable and ready for the integration. So you can use this output to populate the database, feed the dashboards or trigger the workflows. And now comes the integration part. This is where the form recognition shines. So you can plug the output plug in the output into the Power BI for the visualizations, Dataverse, or Azure SQL for the storages, or Logic apps and Power Automate for the workflow automations. So, where you are building the report dashboards or an end-to-end document processing pipelines, a form recognizer fits in the right end. So, one of the best things about this architecture is its modularity. So you can deploy the form recognizer as in a standalone services or embed it within a larger intelligent workflow. So for example, you might use it as a the first step in a pipeline that includes the document classification, summarization, and storages. Or you can, you might integrate it with the Azure Cognitive Search to build a searchable document repository, right? So here we have let's talk about this step-by-step process of how this Azure Form Recognizer works in practice, right? So this will help you to visualize that what happens behind the scenes and when you upload the document and extract the data. So the step one is that uploading the file and you can do with this directly through the Azure portal or programmatically via the Azure blob storages. The document which can be in a PDF, JPEG, or PNG, or even it can be in any supportable format, right? So and this flexibility allows you to work with the scanned document, mobile captures, or digital files. So next call the form recognizer API endpoint. So this is where the magic begins. So you specify the models you want to use, the pre-built models, which can be in pre-built or the layout or the customs, uh, and send the document for the processing. The API, which is in REST based, so that and where you can use the SDKs are available in Python, C Sharp, and JavaScript, which making it easy to integrate in your applications. So once the request is received, the Azure runs a series of the operations. First, it performs the text reduction using the OCR. So then it segments the documents into regions like headers, tables, and the paragraphs, which finally it applies on entity extraction models to identify the key value pairs, tables, and the layout elements. So the results, which can be in, which will be in JSON output, the file which contains all the extracted data, field names, values, and the confidence scores, and the bounding boxes coordinates. So it's a structured, mission readable, and ready for the integration. So one of the most powerful aspects of this flow is confidence score. So this confidence score, which tells you about the each extracted fields, comes with the which can be in a score format that tells you how confident the model is about its predictions. And this allows you to set the thresholds for the validation, flag the low confidence entries, or even the route them for human review. So you can also post-process the data. For example, you might clean up the file name, normalize the values, or enrich the output with the metadata. And even if you are building a analytics dashboard, you can export the data into Power BI or the visualization tools. So here we have the key models in the Azure Form Recognizer, right? So let's dive into this different models available in Azure Form Recognizer. So this is where you start tailoring the services to your specific document types and use cases. So first we have the pre-built models. So this pre-built model, these are all ready to use to use the models designed for common document types like invoices, receipts, ID cards, and uh, sorry, document types like invoices, receipts, and ID cards and business cards. So you don't need to train anything. Just upload your document and get the structured output, and you can get the output instantly. So it's very perfect for quick information and works well when you are in a document follow the standard format. So next is, we have this in the current slide, which is in the layout model. So this model, which focuses on the understanding the visual structure of the document, and it detects the text blocks, paragraphs, and the tables and the sections. So it's an ideal when you want to preserve the layout or build the applications that relies on the document structures like summarization engines or classification models. So then we have the custom model. So this is where the things get really powerful if you are working with the domain specific documents, say insurance forms, medical reports, or the samples, the logistic manifests. So you upload 5 to 10 labeled documents, define the fields you want to extract, and let Azure do the rest. So the model which learns to handle the variations in the layout, languages, and format. So now, what if you have multiple document types, which with the different layouts? So that's where the composed model comes in. So it allows you to combine the multiple custom models into one single unified model. So when you send a document, the composed model automatically selects the best submodel to process it. So this is great for the organizations that deals with the diverse document formats. So finally, we have the document classifier. So so this document classifier, which is in the model, which will automatically determine so what type of the document that you are dealing with, and whether it's an invoice, the receipts, or the form, and which routes it to the appropriate model. So together, these models gives you the flexible toolkit. You can start with the pre-built model and for quick wins, or move to the custom models for the specialized documents, and scale up with the composed models, and the classifiers for the complex workflows. And the best part, you can mix and match, and you can use the classifier to route the documents, your composed models to handle the layout variations, and even you can integrate everything into one seamless pipelines using Azure services. So next, I will show you the real world examples that how the pre-bill invoice models works. So this is the first the integration options. So here we can integrate with the Power Automate, Power BI, cognitive search, or and you can do the automations for by the Azure functions, and you can use the SharePoint or the Dynamics for business systems. So here we have the security and the compliance. So this Azure, which is built on the top of the Azure secure infrastructure, and this all the data is encrypted in the transit at the rest. So it supports the private endpoints and the RBAC, and which is compliant with the ISO, SOC, HIPAA, and the GDPR standards. So here we have the advanced concepts. You know, here we can get the results in the form of a confidence score. So which will map you all the extracted text with the confidence score. So this text could be these are the probability of the text can be which belongs to that text. So human in the loop. So which can as a human we can review the output, and we can give the feedbacks, and the batch processing. So where this batch processing, we have the bulk documents, we can do the processing by batch, and the AI enrichments, which combines with the open AI for the summarizations. So here we have the pricing and the optimizations. So this pricing, comes with the we can use 500 pages per month as a free, and the main part is that you can pay as you go for the large scale uses. So the different pricings for the pre-built and the custom models, which will be applicable for the document upload quantities, and use the batch processing to reduce the cost per document. So here we have the use case number one, which is an invoice automation. So let's now look at the practical example using one of the Azure Form Recognizers, most popular features, the pre-built invoice model. So imagine you are working in an finance department that receives the hundreds or even the thousands of invoices every month. So these invoice cannot, it cannot be done in a human, done by the human. So these invoice in different formats, PDFs, scanned images, and even the photos taken on the mobile devices manually, entering the data from these invoices into an ERP systems it will be in the time consuming, and it will be prone to the error, right? So this is exactly the kind of scenarios where the pre-built invoice model shines. So here is how it works. So you simply upload a standard invoice, say the PDF or a scanned image into a form recognizer. Then you can call the invoice API. So which is specifically trained to understand the invoice structure. So it doesn't matter if the invoice is from the vendor in India, vendor in Europe, or in the US. The model is designed to handle a wide variety of the formats and field variations. So the output, which is in a structured JSON file, and let me show you the sample, right, in the demo. So it will show you in a JSON format. As you will be seeing it will extract the key fields like the vendor name, invoice date, and the total amount, and even the line items. So each field comes with a confidence scores. So you can know you know how reliable and the extraction is. So this allows you to set the validation threshold or a route the low confidence entries for a manual review. So what's remarkable is that it's this model recognizes the hundreds of fields variations, whether the field is labeled total amount, grand total, or just the amount. The model understands the context and extracts the correct value, right? And it's because it's a pre-built model, there is a zero training required. You don't need to train any model, so you can start using it immediately. Just plug it into your workflow and go. And it's perfect for automating the invoice processing, speeding up the accounting cycles, and reducing the manual efforts. So you can integrate this into this output with Power Automate or Power BI. So it's fast, accurate, and scalable. So here we have the second use case, which is in healthcare for form processing, right? So, which is one of the most powerful features of the Azure Form Recognizer, so which is in a custom model. So especially when you are working with the domain-specific model documents, while pre-built models are great for the standard formats like invoice or receipts, many organizations which deals with the documents that does not follow an universal template. So think about the healthcare forms or the insurance claims, logistics, or the government applications. So these documents vary widely in a layout, terminology, and the structures. So that's where the custom model comes in. And with the custom model, you can train the form recognizer to understand your unique document format. And the process is surprisingly simple. You start by uploading 5 to 10 labeled samples. These are the examples of your actual documents with the fields, remarks for the extractions. So you can use the Document Intelligence Studio, which will provides you visual interface to label the fields like a patient name, policy number, or claim amount, right? So once it is labeled, you can train the model and use Azure, for these sample to learn these layout, feel the relationships and the text patterns, right? So next use case is about the educational certification verifications. So this would be getting mapped with the layout model in an Azure Form Recognizer, and which will be an incredibly useful for the to understand the visual structure of the document. Unlike the models that purely focus on extracting the fields or the values, the layout where the models is designed to interpret how the model and the document is visually organized. So this includes the identifying the text blocks, bounding boxes, and even the paragraphs, tables, and even the titles and the sections. So let's break it down. When you run a document through the layout model, it doesn't just give you the text. It tells you where the text lives on the page. So you get the coordinates for the each blocks, which will means you can construct the document visually or use the spatial data to drive the downstream logics. So for example, you might want to extract all the text that appears in the header sections or isolate the content from specific columns. So let's get into the demo straight away, right? So here we have one second. Uh, so the demo it's going to be in a two-part, right? So the demo it's going to be a two-part where you can deploy the code and you can run it, or by using the Python SDK, or you can use the Azure portal to do it, right? So let me open Azure portal. So let's say portal.azure.com. One second. So here we landed up into the Azure portal. So here we have this Azure AI Beacon series. So let's get in. So this is the the document intelligence that I have deployed. So let's go scroll it down, and you can see the go to document intelligence studio. So let's say click, and so here we landed up into the document intelligence studio. So here we have the OCR read, and we can compromise with the layouts and the general document extractions. And if you scroll it down, we have the prebuilt models. So you can use it for the receipts, invoices, identity documents, and US health insurance cards. So let's click on the invoices. So here you want to pick an account. So let's click it. So here let's say to switch on directory, yeah, the default directory. Yeah, so it's in the current directory now. So let's say to click the invoices. So here we landed up. So here we have the sample documents, right? So here we have the sample documents, which we have the informations of. Let's say to click the document. So here you can see the fields, right? So here you can see the fields of subtotal, sales tax, and the totals. And so here where we can try to run this document to analyze it. So let's say run analysis. It is taking yeah. So here we got got the the fields and the extract text extracted. So the amount due, which is you can see the amount due of 610 USD and the billing addresses. So if you are tracking it down, if you are overing it on the text, you will be getting where the text is got extracted. And here you can see that amount due. And here, if you scroll it down, you can see where all the document it's got extracted, where the text it's got extracted from the document, right? So let's try with our own, uploading our own document or the own image. So let's say here I have downloaded an sample invoice. So let's say to click and run analyze. Sorry, run analysis. So here we got, and see, you can see the customer address, which is, we are saying it as a 31 Lake Floyd Circle, and the house number, and the road number, road name, and the postal code, and it is stating down the state, and what are all the things. So here we have a lot of the informations. So here we have this text in the table formats. So let's say to click a table view. So here we got what are all the amount and what is the description and what is the quantity of each and every descriptions. So if you want to see, you can zoom it down. You can zoom it and you can see the tables. So these are all the tables that got extracted, and it has got segregated into an items, right? So this is how the document intelligence works. So let's see how it works in a document, document kit, so sorry, this software development kit by using Python, right? So here I have developed this code. No, we will be. I will be sending this code into the group, or you can get it down in the description. I will be sending it to you guys in the YouTube descriptions. All right. So here, what we have to do is that we have to import the Azure AI Form Recognizer library to get utilize it. So here, let's say to run the code. So this code, this is in a prototype that I have developed for the prototype, right? So let's say to run the Streamlight run, I have developed in a Streamlight. So let's say to run Streamlight run Azure Form Recognizer.py. So before this, please be ensure that whether you have activated the VNV so that you can run the the libraries that what you have installed it, right? So here, before that, what you have to do is that you have to upload the form recognizer endpoint and the API key. So let's say where I have this API keys. So if you go to the document intelligence source where you have deployed it, you can see the resource management sections. Below that, you can see the keys and endpoints. So let's say to click and just copy this key and paste it over here. And let's say to paste this endpoint as well. So here I'm just going to use the prebuilt invoice. So I don't need to train any of the models. So let's simply browse the file and upload it. And you can see the document which has got extracted for, you can extract each and every metadata and you can upload it on the JSON file. So here we have this extracted fields. So here we got, I will compare you with the document, what we have uploaded. right? Azure AI sessions, and so this is the data set, right? So this is the one. So if you want to compare with this document with the output, let's hide this. And here you can see the addresses, the customer address. So which is saying that 31, and this could be the house number, and which is segregating it by part by part. So this is the post box number, which is not mentioned, and the road, which which can be it as a noun. So which it is creating a confidence score, and it is mapping it. So this could be the customer name. So the Google INC, which is saying it as about 70% of the confidence, and the invoice date, and the invoice ID, and the invoice total. And here we have the items, which is in the descriptions. So the first thing is that we got the initial research, and the US design, and web app development, right? And it so here, which is not that much clear. So if you scroll it down, you can get the clear output in the JSON output, right? So here we have this, which is saying all the API versions, model ID, and the contents of which is extracted from the form, right? And it can able to detect the languages as well. It is my which is my fault. I didn't configure that to detect the languages. You can use the lang detect library to detect the languages from your forms, right? And where you can get to know about what are all the the characteristics of the images, and what is about the content, right? And so this is the main contents, and which is saying all the contents about where it is located in the image. So it is located it in the coordinates of x-axis and the y-axis, and it's all about in the background of mathematical calculations, right? So this is all about the today's sessions. So hope you'd have liked it. And if you are liked it, just follow the button, and follow the subscribe button, and click the subscribe button, and wait for the next updates. And we will be covering the next 20 days of 20 weekends of this Azure AI series. So let's stay tuned, and catch you up in the next week. Right? Thank you. Thanks for joining.